Up next, the Jazz taking on the Mavericks. For the Utah Jazz, they've been rolling all year, and nobody can seem to slow them down. At home tonight, they're looking for their next victim. Mavs, Jazz, the NBA on 2K Sports. Good afternoon, everyone. We're about to get started with some Saturday NBA action brought to you by 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines. And now a moment to check out the leaders in the All-Star voting. Balloting underway.
And this is really a fun time of year. You're starting to see which players are going to be in the running to make the All-Star team.
Well, you look at Conley. He's on the cusp of the top 10 in the Western Conference voting.
So still a long way away from being named a starter, but the fans aren't overlooking what he's been doing this season.
And it seems like the anticipation just continues to build each year around this time of the season. Gonna be a fantastic weekend. We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Head coach Quinn Snyder is trying to help the Jazz break through in a crowded Western Conference. Snyder said, "There's always challenges, and I'm comfortable with adversity. I just want to keep the right perspective. I've got something that I love to do." And Kevin, he is one of the biggest reasons the Jazz is always a factor.
He is doing a great job. Thank you, DA. Well, Clark, midseason rumors now in full session. When a player requests a trade, how strongly do you think that affects team chemistry?
You know, Kevin, I'm all for players voicing their choice and actually having an opportunity to express themselves, but it can be detrimental if a player in the middle of a season makes it known that he's not interested in being there. It can have a terrible effect on team chemistry, in my opinion.
So let's take a look at the starters for the Dallas Mavericks. Jackson is the 3 and Porzingis at the 4. Jalen Brunson out there with Luka Doncic. And it's Cauley Stein in at the 5 spot. And for Utah, Mitchell and Bogdanovich, they're the wings. Rudy Gobert is out there with Bradley. And it's Conley in at the 1 spot.
Poor design there defensively. They know he's a knockdown shooter from that spot.
And you do not want to let him get going early because that can get you cooked.
Now here's Porzingis. Now here's Brunson. Stolen by Mitchell. In transition, here come the Jazz. Shoots over Brunson. Mitchell's shot is good.
Watch out now. When this guy gets into a rhythm, it is something to behold.
Now Doncic. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Portland.
And equally impressive on the backboards. I thought his rebounding was huge.
And the shot goes in from Kristaps Porzingis.
Porzingis looking so confident taking these deep shots. He's a very dangerous threat from downtown.
Conley dishes to Mitchell. It's blocked. Well, it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will retain possession. Outside Conley. Lets the 3 fly. They grab their own miss.
Tell you what, Porzingis showing great timing as the anchor of the defense there.
Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. And here's Brunson. 14 points from him the last game against the Trailblazers in Portland.
And his passing also off the charts in that game. In just about every aspect of their offense, he was dialed in.
Jackson, that's good.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Conley kicks to Bogdanovich. It's Bradley on the wing. 4 on the shot clock. Back to Bogdanovich. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Let's check out the Western Conference standings right now that we're here in the new year. Take a look at the Jazz. Here in the middle of the regular season, they've been able to get the 4th best record in the conference. And, of course, the Mavericks. Not really any threat right now, as their record showing a lot more losses.
Right now for the Jazz, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
You know, I thought maybe they'd have it in them to actually join those leaders this season. But you're right, it's still nice work considering where they are.
Brunson, another 3 for Dallas.
Well, I think this is the start they wanted. Come out and put some points up early. 3 of 4 so far.
And so Conley will bring the ball up for the Jazz, trailing by 2. And moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
And guys, you just can't afford to give away points from the foul line. Not in the NBA. Teams are just too talented.
Yeah, and you know, to come up short at the line is frustrating because that's controllable and it's actually a free throw. So you feel like you leave loose change out there when you don't convert.
And he gets the bucket.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Pass to Gobert. The dish now to Bogdanovich. Kicks it out to Mitchell. The Jazz with another miss. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on Donovan Mitchell.
Doncic, because he's so skilled and so savvy, he does a nice job forcing the defense into tough spots when they're guarding him.
This is his first free throw of the game. That free throw good from Doncic. Greg, you look at the young Luka Doncic. What impresses you the most right now about his game?
Well, Kevin, you just don't see many players his height who can handle and make step-back threes. Also, his confidence. He came into the league never doubting that he could dominate a game. And don't forget about his brilliance as a passer.
All free throws good from Doncic.
Well, you look at Luka Doncic, and the one skepticism scouts had was his athleticism or lack thereof. And I think he's proven that's not necessary to be a great basketball player. And he's only getting better as he works with NBA trainers.
Timeout is called, first of the game for the Jazz. And you know, you heard about Doncic. Even if he's a step slow, he's always 2 steps ahead with his mental game.
You know, Kevin, that's a great point. Feel, savvy, experience, know-how. You know, he grew up playing against bigger, stronger guys, and that always serves you well as you go forward. So he understands how to create space and anticipate and feel how to get defenders off balance. I mean, he's just a special young player.
Now here's Gobert. 17 points for him last game against Golden State. Conley, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Porzingis.
Well, you look at Mike Conley. He's been around a long time, folks, double-digit years. Does a little bit of everything out there, and outstanding, not only in the locker room, but also in the community, too. Just 5-star in every way.
Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good, Conley.
And already over a decade in the league for Mike Conley. He never got past the numbers game to make the All-Star team in the crowded Western Conference, but make no mistake about it, Conley is star caliber.
And so Mike Conley nails both of them. And Greg, you talk to Conley, he'll admit he's been frustrated trying to break through and get that recognition.
Still, the way he plays the game, not focused on his individual numbers, unselfish, and focused on what the team needs to win.
While we have a break, we can see which teams have made the most of their second chance opportunities over the last 10 games. The Jazz second.
Really something to see. Their effort on the offensive glass has just led to so many second chance opportunities.
Now here is Conley. 17 points in his last outing. And the rejection by Cauley Stein.
You better come stronger than that. Cauley Stein, a presence defensively.
They get it back out to Doncic. Now the pass to Jackson. Another shot. Dallas again missing. Jazz trail by 4. Mitchell outside. No good there. Cauley Stein with the defensive effort.
Guys, this hasn't been his quarter. I mean, to me, he just doesn't look completely comfortable or confident.
It's deflected. Here's Mitchell, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
And you ask around, his coaches and teammates love Donovan Mitchell. The way he carries himself, really infectious, upbeat, but also a born competitor.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That one is off. And going into the 2017 draft, Mitchell was a sleeper. Maybe even Greg to himself, he wasn't sure he was ready to make that leap.
And you know, Kevin, it was the NBA players he was working out with in the summertime who told him, man, you're ready right now. And a season that saw him second in Rookie of the Year votes validated that and built his confidence. Well, you might think at 6'3" in shoes, Donovan Mitchell is undersized for the shooting guard position. But his combination of strength and length, along with the athleticism, help him to hold his own.
Now, here's Mitchell. 14 points from him the last game against Golden State. Good.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
Here's Brunson. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Kleba with the bucket. Greg, nowadays teams looking for +6 players. That's a player whose arm span exceeds their height by at least 6 inches.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, how about a +9? I mean, a little over 6'1" in socks with a 6'10" wingspan. Those long arms, the reason for the Spider nickname.
Conley unable to get that one. And it's Dallas the other way, fresh from a win against Portland.
Mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
Well, you know, it takes character, poise, toughness to win on the road, and that's exactly what they showed last game.
Here's Mitchell. The Mavericks making the shot. Connects from 3-point range. Mitchell's got his second bucket tonight.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Now here's Brunson. He's covered closely. Bradley against Doncic.
Tell you what, for a young player, Doncic has already shown tremendous skill and feel for the game. Beautiful floor awareness there.
And it's Conley with the ball for the Utah Jazz. 4-point game. Pass to Mitchell. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Mitchell's got his third basket of the night right there.
And, you know, coaches will take possessions like that all day long. Phenomenal use of the screen there.
Doncic passes to Cauley Stein. Here's Jackson, and another basket for Dallas.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
And so it's Utah here with the ball, following the score by Dallas. Mitchell against Doncic, and it's blocked.
You know, I like that Doncic, guys, doesn't back down on defense and tries to make it hard for his opponents.
Jackson buries it down low. Now it's a 6-point Dallas lead. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Mavericks.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
And the Jazz call time here. Since taking over the starting role in 2018, Willie Cauley-Stein has lived up to his draft spot of being number 6, Greg, overall in 2015.
And you knew that a big man like Cauley-Stein would take a few years to develop, but at a legit 7 feet and great length, he is everything you could hope for in a starting center.
So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Davis is checked in for Bradley. Joe Ingles comes in for Bogdanovich. Clarkson, he's checked in for Mitchell. And it's Moutier in for Mike Conley. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Dwight Powell's checked in for Willie Cauley-Stein. Kid Gilchrist comes in for Jackson. Hardaway's checked in for Doncic. And it's Wright in for Jalen Brunson. Another miss by Utah. Dallas leading by 6. Here's Kid Gilchrist. And slam dunk by Kid Gilchrist.
Hey, once Kid Gilchrist gets some momentum, he zones in and zones out the defense, throwing it down.
Utah has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Pass to Davis. Moutier dishes to Clarkson. To the middle. Here's Davis. And it's Davis with the jam.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
You know, when you're looking to close the gap, you need guys who will take it upon themselves to step up, take the initiative, and make something happen.
Here's Kid Gilchrist after the basket by Utah. Here's Powell. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. And so the ball's out of bounds. Powell touched it last.
And now we've got a moment to see how the Jazz are doing ranking-wise, Kevin.
And going back to their offensive rebounding, and that #1 ranking in second chance buckets, I think it speaks to their tenacity and physicality. They go at you. No question about that.
Now, here's Clarkson. 11 points for him in that last game against Golden State. Gobert finds Moutier. No good on that one. Now Dallas takes it the other way. This their first chance this season playing the Jazz.
The game is the first of a 3-game season series for these clubs, both looking to take round 1.
And Greg, the first time you face a team in the season, that's when you're looking to take that mental advantage. Demonstrate you're better, and that could make it easier down the road.
So it's the Jazz now. The Mavericks making the shot. Loads it up for Davis. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession. And let's check out a breakdown. Looking at some stats for Doncic.
And right now, he's in one of those grooves where he has a tremendous feel for the game. His assist numbers these past 5 look a lot different than from the rest of the season. And by different, I mean better.
Now here's Wright. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert. Mark, I want to take you back a bit here to 1982. What was going through your mind over your first few NBA games?
Well, Kevin, first of all, I was really excited and thankful to have a chance to realize a dream, but I was also a little bit nervous going up against some of the guys that I had watched and idolized from afar. But once you're between those lines, it's not about idolizing guys. It's about trying to posterize them.
And any player in particular, one player that you looked out on the floor and you were out there as well saying, oh, my goodness, look who I'm playing against tonight.
Well, when we first saw the Celtics and the Sixers, Larry Bird and those great teams in the 80s, Cedric Maxwell and Kevin McHale, and then the Sixers, my rookie year, won it all. And they had Moses Malone, Dr. J, Bobby Jones, some of the greats in the game. So those two teams, and Dr. J and Larry Bird in particular.
Williams-Goss is checked in for Gobert. And he's good on the second.
You know, guys, the Dallas Mavericks with the longest active sellout streak of any pro basketball team. You can put sellout in quotes because they actually give a lot of tickets away to schools and community service groups to make sure that building is full.
Moutier against Wright. Pass to Hardaway. Here's Kleba. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Hardaway. Kleba's got 8. You know, Clark, the Mavericks making their games accessible to Dallas fans, much more concerned with the packed house than the revenue at the gate.
Yeah, and I like that philosophy, guys. I mean, building their future fan base. Those fans will be around for a while. Giving young people a chance to become Mavericks fans for life. And you start early, and it pays dividends down the road usually.
And DeLon Wright gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. There's 1:26 left to play in the first quarter. Williams-Goss, the pass to Moutier. Wide open look.
You know, the offense is sputtering a bit here, starting to fall behind.
Yeah, it's been a cold start, no doubt, but they've got to find a way to put some points on the board.
And the big contract for Tim Hardaway Jr. back in 2017, Clark. 4 years, $71 million.
Hey, sometimes timing is everything. We know that in our world and in all the other worlds out there. And think about that now. Tim Hardaway Jr. has made more money than his all-star father made in his whole career. Hardaway Jr. young and athletic and a really rock-solid player at both ends.
That free throw good from Hardaway. And with this summer's acquisition of Mike Conley, Greg, the Utah Jazz hoping to make a step in the West.
And really, Mike Conley, their best point guard since they traded away Darren Williams back in 2011. Alongside Bogdanovich, a big upgrade offensively, and he can hold his own on the defensive side as well.
He's perfect from the line this time.
Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
Here's Williams-Goss. Doesn't go that time.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
He's looking for Ingles and finds him. Kicks to Moutier. There's 39 seconds left to play here in the first. And there it is for him.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Wright with it. The pass to Kleba. Back to Wright. Powell, the pass to Wright. 5 to shoot. Over Ingles. And good as it just snugs right down through the net.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Yeah, you know, they've had the advantage at both ends. They've got all the momentum early on.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls.
And, you know, one of those rare second-round picks who played well immediately. Clarkson was first team all-rookie and continues to develop.
And both free throws good for Clarkson. Here's Wright. Outside, Kid Gilchrist.
You know, this is why Clarkson can be a bit of a big tease defensively. I mean, he has all the tools to shut guys down.
And so it's Dallas. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. And we'll be back with you shortly. Kristaps Porzingis grew up in faraway Latvia, but thanks to his brother, developed a passion for the NBA.
My older brother, he was a big fan of NBA always, and he always had pictures of Michael and then Kobe and Shaq, and then we both started watching a lot of NBA highlights. And then later on, 13, 14, Kobe and Powell, you know, I used to watch those guys play a lot.
And Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in a second. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Mavericks team out there.
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you look at the energy, the effort defensively, they put it all out there in that opening quarter.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the floor right now for the Mavericks. Inside of the 4 and the 5, Porzingis and Powell. Hardaway is out there with Wright, and it's Kid Gilchrist in its small forward. Here's Wright after Ed Davis's score. Right side Hardaway. To the paint. From 6 away, and it's Porzingis that time on the assist from Hardaway. Porzingis has got 5 points so far. And around a minute gone here in the second quarter. Pass to Clarkson. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Back to Wright. It's stolen by Moutier. And now Clarkson pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And good that time. He's got 6.
Transition defense, not matching up well with Clarkson's speed there.
Right against Moutier. Powell, no one around him. And the 3 off target. Jazz trail by 7. Here's Williams-Goss. His 3-pointers off the mark. Here's Kid Gilchrist. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Mark, a lot of coaches like to run their offense through centers. Any names you can think of who you'd be comfortable running your offense through at that position?
Well, just because I've watched him and loved his game since locking into him, Jokic.
Yes.
Man, can he pass it. He can shoot it. He can score it inside. He's got such excellent hands and touch. He's at the top of the list. DeMarcus Cousins, big guy that can shoot it and pass it as well. And Marcus Hall is also in that list.
You'd feel comfortable with any of those guys holding the ball, distributing the ball, wouldn't you?
No doubt.
First free throw is good.
Still plenty of room to get better. Kid Gilchrist doing his best to become an all-around player.
The Jazz making a switch here. Conley's checked in, and Dallas also making a switch. Luka Doncic, he's checked in for Powell. And Kid Gilchrist drops them both. And it's Conley with the ball for Utah. They trail by 9 points. lets it fly. Utah gets it back. Here's Davis. Some solid defense from Kid Gilchrist.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested. You know, for Porzingis, the business of the family is basketball. His parents played at a very high level. His older brother played professionally for over a decade. And the first word that Porzingis said was ball, and he's had one in his hands pretty much from the start.
That free throw good from Porzingis. And Clark, Porzingis' older brother. He used to make him highlight reels of NBA stars.
Yeah, you know, the NBA was his goal all along, but he showed patience, and the Orlando Magic actually promised to take him 10th back in 2014. He stayed in Spain one more year to develop, and good for him.
And both free throws good for Porzingis.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
One way to protect the lead, knock down those free throws, and 100% free throwing for the quarter, that's superb.
Now, here's Clarkson. He's got 6. Conley for 3. Cauley Stein grabs the board.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Here's Clarkson. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. Davis kicks to Conley. Now, here's Clarkson. Bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
And this is the advantage Clarkson has. I mean, he's a big combo guard and can convert through contact.
Doncic passes to Jackson. Doncic feeling it out. Passes to Cauley Stein. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got 4 assists now tonight.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
And it's Conley penetrating. Can't hit from 12.
Usually, guys, he's going to knock that one down from there. Proficient at operating in that medium range area.
On the wing, Doncic. The 3 from Porzingis. Bangs home the trifecta. Porzingis has got 7 now in this quarter.
Really easy to understand why many are high on Porzingis. This guy is a terrific offensive player.
Conley, the pass to Williams-Goss. Clarkson against Jackson. Conley with the 3. It's rebounded by Dallas. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, coming into the 2017 draft, Donovan Mitchell wasn't sure he was ready for the NBA. Mitchell said, "I worked out in the summer with Paul George and Chris Paul, and they were the ones who convinced me to keep my name in the draft. They said, look, you're good enough. Just go out there and show it." Kevin, through a couple of seasons in Utah, that's exactly what Mitchell has done.
He has made an instant impact on the NBA and the Jazz, DA. Thank you.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
And don't leave out the coaching staff here now. I mean, their game plan has been perfect.
Now Clarkson. He's got 8. And Davis now top of the key. 6 to shoot. Here's Williams-Goss, guarded by Doncic, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D for the Jazz. Gobert, he's checked in for Davis. Bogdanovich comes in for Jordan Clarkson, and it's Mitchell in for Williams-Goss. Jalen Brunson, he's checked in for Dallas. And stolen by Bogdanovich. He kicks it to Mitchell. to stop the run, and that's good for 2. Mitchell's got 10.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
Now here's Brunson, covered by Conley. Cauley-Stein finds Jackson. Now here's Brunson. Tight defense on him, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. A lot of players keep track of their stats, their own team stats. But Clark, how much do guys pay attention to stats in game?
I have no idea. I mean, I know stat sheets are given to the coaches during the timeouts throughout the game, but I don't think players in general are able to monitor their numbers. Now, there are exceptions to every rule. I imagine every team may have a player or two that can chart his numbers during the game, but the vast majority are too occupied with playing the game to keep up with the stats.
And they're looking up at the scoreboard too, aren't they? Because they give individual stats up on the board.
Oh man, yeah, I tell you that, and then watching replays is one of my pet peeves with players. I mean, they should just focus on playing the game instead of always looking up to see if they fouled or not.
And what I like about Cauley-Stein is just how hard he plays. Really, both ends, a scrappy player.
So he comes up empty at the line.
And the Mavericks seem to have done the hard part, acquiring a potential franchise player in Luka Doncic.
And you know, guys, we've seen it, but in this league, 1 star isn't enough. That's why I think the trade for Porzingis was a good gamble. If he can stay healthy, they have an inside-outside star combo to build on. Boy, you look at how tall Porzingis is. He's 7'3", and you add in his skill level. That's a unique combination. No wonder they call him the unicorn. He is unique.
First one falls for him. And Clark, the advantage of height, well known in basketball, but some have wondered if Porzingis is almost too tall.
Well, you know, there's a concern because he's had a significant injury early in his career, and his frame is really long, which makes you a little more susceptible to injuries. But I think KP has worked diligently to add strength and improve his body. Only time will tell if he's able to stand up to a long, productive NBA career.
Jazz trail by 20. Mitchell outside. Outside, Bogdanovich. Clock at 6. From downtown. Offensive rebound. Gobert. That one misses. Mavericks leading by 20. And Cauley-Stein throws it down.
And their balanced effort at both ends has hushed this crowd.
Yeah, you said the key word there, balanced. I mean, their big lead owes as much to their defense as their offense.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Utah calls timeout. Well, the number 33 pick in the 2018 draft, Jalen Brunson, off to a pretty good start.
Boy, I tell you what, this guy is so solid. He was the Naismith Player of the Year and a 2-time champion at Villanova. No surprise to see him handling his business in the pros because he's all business.
Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Dallas. Here's Gobert, still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Conley, the pass to Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
And he's a pure point guard with terrific vision. Conley finds open teammates at times before they realize they're open.
Now, here's Doncic. 6 points for him. It's stolen by Bradley. And here is Conley. Takes a 3. Here's Gobert. He makes that one drop, only a second and 5 tries.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Brunson, the bounce pass. And Doncic, here we go. Bradley with some nice D.
Well, you know, stopping him is never easy to do, but the defense was strong there.
Mitchell's shot is good.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear, it's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
Now here's Brunson. Inside. Here's Kleba. And misses it off the right side of the rim. In transition, here come the Jazz. Mitchell wide open. It's rebounded by Doncic. Mavericks leading by 16. Here's Porzingis. Utah with the rebound. Gobert's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Mitchell kicks to Conley. Bradley deciding where to go with it. Looking to end his cold spell. It's rebounded by Dallas. Porzingis has got 6 rebounds in the game.
No doubt the fight's there. They are trying to battle back, but he's just really struggling this quarter. But when you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
You know, he should be getting extra attention from the defense, not less.
Outside Conley. With the floater. That's tipped. They recover it. They retain possession. Here's Gobert. And another shot. And gets hacked by the D. He'll go to the line.
And you look back at that 2013 draft, just call it the year of the sleeper Euros. Giannis Antetokounmpo taken 15th, and this guy, Rudy Gobert, selected with the 27th pick.
Shooting 2.
A free throw drops for Gobert. And, you know, Greg, hindsight always being 20/20. The Greek Freak and Gobert probably go first and second in that 2013 draft.
Yeah, and Steven Adams probably top 4. The common thread, all of them play a hard-nosed style, not something that's always associated with foreign-born players, but they're erasing that perception.
He hits both from the stripe. Now they call Rudy Gobert the Stifle Tower, probably the game's most dominant rim protector.
And in today's game, that's not enough. You also have to come out of the paint and defend smaller players in switches. He straddles those 2 needs better than anyone in the league.
And it's Mitchell with the ball for Utah. It's an 18-point game. Dishes it to Moutier. With the teardrop, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Moutier.
And a moment here to look at the numbers for Jackson. Averaging about 7 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And there isn't much to write home about with his numbers. I think he'd like to up his contributions.
Yeah, but you got to earn that chance. I mean, you get what you earn. His numbers are fine, but he's not going to get a lot more floor time unless he turns it up a notch.
Brunson finds Doncic. There's the 3. No good that time. And Utah the other way now. Here's Moutier. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. No good with the layup. Lob pass to Porzingis. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
Well, what an athlete this Porzingis kid is, man. I tell you, you put the rock anywhere near him, and he's going to throw it down.
Jazz trail by 20. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
You 2.
So it's the Mavericks now. Mavericks leading by 20. Brunson scanning the floor. On the wing, Doncic. And the dunk by Doncic.
Boy, showing you some power there, fellas. I mean, nice to see Doncic get up and drop it in with force that time.
The Jazz shooting just 33%, struggling to get good looks. Moutier dishes to Gobert. Pass to Bogdanovich. Back to Gobert. Outside Jackson. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here.
Performed well thus far this season with a 78% clip.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Powell, he's checked in for Maxi Kleba. Kid Gilchrist comes in for Porzingis. And Tim Hardaway Jr. subbed in for Jalen Brunson. The Jazz shooting 31% in the second. Some poor shot selection for them in this quarter. Moutier pass to Bogdanovich. 43 seconds left in the first half. Lays it up off the glass. Bogdanovich has got his first points of the game. Doncic against Moutier. Outside for Jackson. Dallas no good that time either. Doncic with the steal. The pass to Kid Gilchrist. He had stolen by Ingles. Here's Mitchell. Nice D from Doncic.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Bouncing through the air with ease, Kid Gilchrist. An absolute beast on these alley-oop throwdowns.
From deep three-point range, and the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's Dallas, holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Quinn Snyder. Quinn, what concerns you most about the first half?
Well, I think the tempo is in their favor right now. They're fast, and they're getting up and down the floor, so they're running out in transition.
Got to beat them to the punch. Thanks very much, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is right here. Say hey to the folks, Kenny.
Hey, folks.
Say hey to the folks, Shaq.
Hey, folks.
Hey, let's get this party started.
Okay.
Dallas has the edge here at halftime. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what do you think?
I love how they opened the game up. They pushed the ball up court at every opportunity, and they put the defense on their heels. But it wasn't just a track meet. It was a well-thought-out strategy that the coaches had way beforehand. We'll see what adjustments get made to try to stop their transition game in the second half.
And Shaq, how do you think the Jazz were playing?
Well, they're obviously facing a hot shooting team tonight. That combined with a lackluster effort on defense, recipe for disaster, Ernie. Without major improvements defensively, this game is over.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. The Mavericks shooting 65%, an outstanding offensive display from them. Conley and Mitchell, the talented backcourt pair. Bradley is out there with Gobert, and it's Bogdanovich in at the three slot. That's the group right now for Utah. Here's Mitchell, and it's good, 2 points. Mitchell's got 14 points for the game.
Yeah, and Conley just makes the game fun. Able to shoot, but focused on also facilitating for teammates.
Outside, Porzingis over Bradley. That one wide left. And Willie Cauley-Stein gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Jazz shooting just 34% from the floor. Conley with it. Looking to get back on track here. And stolen by Cauley-Stein.
Great reflexes to get a hand on that pass and go the other way with it.
Here's Porzingis. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. 16 points for Porzingis.
Boy, you know, guys, the combination of strength and height for Porzingis allowing him to take on physical defense much better.
Porzingis has gotten 6 of his 10 shots to go in for him, so 60% shooting on the night. Knocked loose. Stolen by Brunson. One-on-one here. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on Donovan Mitchell.
Take a break. Take a break.
And he knocks down the first one. Second free throw, no good. They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
Now here's Conley. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. And the shot is good. Conley's got 6 points.
Capable of scoring from anywhere. Got to be cognizant of Conley when he's looking to shoot.
Outside Jackson. Pass to Cauley-Stein. Back to Jackson. And here's Porzingis for a 3. Gobert pulls it in. Gobert's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Bogdanovich wide open. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Mavericks have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. Right side Porzingis. Down low. From 6 feet. In deep. Cauley-Stein drops it in. He's got 8.
Boy, KP wanting to dish it when his guys are open. I love that team first attitude on display.
Conley against Porzingis. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Greg, some folks suspected Conley might be moved when Memphis had a shot at drafting John Morant. Right before the draft, that deal took place.
I tell you what, he looks to be a great fit in Utah. Can be that third star the team needs to push them to the next level. Utah had to give up a fair sum to get him, but it was worth the risk.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
That's good from Conley. And good on the second, so he makes them both. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Now here's Brunson. Passes it to Doncic. Outside Jackson. Launches a three. Brunson, good. Brunson's got 6.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
So it's Utah now. Conley scanning the floor. Now the Mavericks moving it up. Here's Cauley Stein, and Cauley Stein throws it down.
Cauley Stein, a tremendous athlete and a dynamic finisher.
And it's Conley with the ball for the Utah Jazz. Pass to Gobert. Mitchell with it. Three-pointer. Cauley Stein grabs the board.
Tell you what, the defense was lucky there. I mean, leave him that open from range, he'll typically knock it down.
The Jazz have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Here's Mitchell. It's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got 3 assists in the game.
I tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over.
Now here's Brunson. 6 points for him. Porzingis finds Brunson. And stolen by Bogdanovich. Pushing it up. Here's Mitchell. Cauley Stein grabs the board. Cauley Stein's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Boy, I like the way Porzingis uses his ample offensive tools to generate some big-time offense.
The Jazz have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Conley kicks to Mitchell. Shoots over Doncic. Again, Mitchell missing. Dallas has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Lob pass to Porzingis. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And how about the communication between teammates on that alley-oop?
And that's what you need to pull that thing off.
Boy, both ends of that play, guys, were fantastic.
Here's Conley. Following the basket by Kristaps Porzingis. Conley, and the layup's good off the glass. Conley's got 10 points.
The silky smooth dribble moves of Conley, so slick in how he creates for himself.
Here's Brunson, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Michael Conley picks one up. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Mavericks.
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well.
That one falls for Brunson. And the Jazz with some changes. Ed Davis is checked in for Bradley. Jordan Clarkson comes in for Bogdanovich. And Williams Goss subbed in for Donovan Mitchell. Hardaway's checked in for the Mavericks. DeLon Wright comes in for Doncic. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. And it seems like Jordan Clarkson may have found his niche, Greg, as instant offense coming off the bench.
A perfect fit for a scoring-minded combo guard. Clarkson able to create his own shot and comfortable pulling from all 3 levels.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, over the last few years, there's been a lot of talk about seeding playoff teams 1 through 16, regardless of conference. Now, taking the top 16 teams is a tough sell, especially for owners whose teams are in the relatively weaker Eastern Conference. But taking 8 teams from each conference and then cross-seeding earlier than the finals is something that does seem possible down the road. The reward for fans might be a finals matchup with the 2 best teams in the league. Kevin?
Interesting ideas, David. Thank you. That free throw missing.
And missing opportunities here to extend that lead at the free throw line this half.
And some changes here for the Mavericks. Maxi Kleber comes in for Willie Cauley-Stein, and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist subbed in for Jalen Brunson. Now here's Gobert. He's got 6. He dishes it to Conley. Back to Gobert. Jazz passing it around. Shot clock at 6. He gets it in there. Conley's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Fantastic at capitalizing from those spots. Conley has a dynamite-looking jump shot.
Now, Wright. There's the pass to Hardaway. Back to Kleba. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Well, you know, guys, we know Hardaway can score, but when he makes these passes, it makes him a lot more dangerous.
Jazz have gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter. Conley dishes to Clarkson. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you could hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
The Jazz have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances. He misses the free throw. Clark, when you think of athleticism specifically, talk about the changes athletically we've seen in the league, say, since the 80s.
It's dramatically different. I mean, there have been tremendous athletes through every decade of the league's existence, but it's gotten better with improved training and more knowledge about the anatomy of the body and how to enhance its performance. But now it seems like great athletes are, you know, a dime a dozen versus 8 to a dozen back in the 80s.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Powell's checked in. And it's Davis with the ball for the Jazz. And here's Moutier. Here's Williams-Goss. The teardrop falls in. Williams-Goss has got 5 now.
Boy, that was a sweet-looking teardrop. There's very little defense for that.
Right, the pass to Kid Gilchrist. Here's Kleba. It's stolen by Davis. Here's Moutier to the middle. Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
And this is the time they wanted to mount the rally and get back into it.
Exactly. I mean, it had to happen here in the third. Now they've got the run going, and I think they've got to keep it going now.
Now here's Kid Gilchrist. And Wright kicks to Powell. It's good from the top of the key. Powell's got his first basket of the night.
Powell playing with a lot of confidence because he knows he has the trust of his teammates. They've got confidence in him to take these shots.
Here's Williams-Goss. Guarded by Hardaway. Williams-Goss, the pass to Gobert. And that one drops. Gobert's got 4 points in the quarter.
And they're showing much more focus here in the second half. More effort as well. And their offense starting to show signs of life.
Now here's Wright. Pass to Powell. It's stolen by Davis. 4-on-3 break. Here's Williams-Goss. Guarded by Hardaway. Count that one for Williams-Goss.
And they've really gotten on track here in the second half. After that shaky start, the field goal percentage steadily climbing. They couldn't make anything in that first break.
Now here's Wright. Moutier with the rebound. Here's the Jazz with the ball. They're on a 16-6 run. And he overshot that one, missing.
Well, I cannot believe he didn't capitalize there, and neither can he.
And I like how he draws the attention on the inside, and then the nice little kick out in rhythm for the jumper.
Here's Wright. Count the basket. Wright's got 5 points so far.
Defensively, you just can't afford to give these easy looks up. Just asking to get burned if you do.
Jazz trail by 20. Pass to Williams-Goss. Right against Moutier. Here's Gobert. It's no good. He is 4 for 10 in the game. Dallas has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. Back to Hardaway. Banked in off the glass.
Boy, Hardaway Jr. is a competitor now, showing you some real toughness. He's not going to give you an inch. He's going to fight you to the finish.
Moutier with the ball. He's got 5. Utah calls timeout.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, you know, I think he's going to tell them simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
Joe Ingles, who's checked in for Williams-Goss. And here we have a rundown of the players you don't want on you when you're putting up a shot. The leaders in blocks over the last month. 3rd is Porzingis. 4th, Rudy Gobert.
I mean, those two have been playing some special low post defense, and a lot of the shots I've seen them swatting away aren't easy to get to.
Davis, the pass to Clarkson. Takes the 3. It's good from long range. Clarkson's got 4 this quarter.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
And their lasers are starting to do their thing. I mean, that's going to be the ticket for them the rest of the way.
Now here's Wright. 5 points in the game. And the upcoming schedule for the Mavericks. On Monday, they'll be matching up with Chris Paul and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Then on Tuesday, they'll go up against Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns.
And for the matchup with the Rockets, you know they're going to be amped up for that one, and they'll need to be. That's going to be one tough game for that group.
That free throw good from Hardaway.
You know, I think we all know that Hardaway Jr. is a really good scorer. I mean, the next step for him is improving defensively.
Hardaway hits them both. And so Clarkson will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. Here's Ingles. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Tim Hardaway picks one up. The Jazz have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12. The first free throw is good. That one falls, so he hits both of them. 1:30 left in the third quarter of the game. And right, here we go. Here's Hardaway. And Davis pulls it down. Jazz trail by 19. Pass to Moutier. The 3-ball. Kleba with the rebound.
Yeah, you know, guys, this has been far from his best game. A disappointing outing for both him and the team.
And Hardaway gets it to go.
You know, he's not just a shooter, guys. Hardaway Jr. is also capable of getting creative and mixing things up, too. I like it.
And 1:01 left to play in the third. Right against Moutier. Now, here's Clarkson. He's guarded closely. Puts up a 3. Moutier, no good. Dallas leading by 21. On the wing, Hardaway. He's covered by Clarkson. Here's Powell. Good, and the assist goes to Hardaway. Powell's got 4 points this quarter.
Boy, when he's in rhythm, he's a threat to score from here. Gotta D-up Powell from the mid-range.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Clarkson on the wing. And the pass to Ingles. Just 4 to shoot. Lets it go with a 3. Moutier, no good. Right side, Kid Gilchrist. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks in very good shape with a 23-point lead at the end of the quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
For me, next to the big-time alley-oops and monster throwdowns, passes like that are probably the next best thing when it comes to sweet-looking NBA highlights.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. On the floor for Dallas starting the fourth quarter here. Doncic and Hardaway at the 2 and the 3. Willie Cauley-Stein is out there with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And it's Brunson in at the point.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Well, guys, they need to do something to reduce this deficit. We'll see if that's the answer.
The Jazz making a switch here. Conley's checked in. From down in the low post, it goes. Conley's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Jazz. Doncic against Mitchell. Out left to the wing. Stolen by Conley. And Willie Cauley-Stein gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Porzingis, he's checked in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Jazz trail by 21. Now here is Conley. The dish to Bogdanovich. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Here's Bradley. Nails the baby hook.
Nice look there from Bogdanovich. The shooter keeping an eye peeled and open for the open man.
Runs in the pass to Hardaway, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Conley. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Porzingis, and the basket good. A bank shot that time. Porzingis has got 9 points now in just the second half. And so Conley will bring the ball up for the Utah Jazz. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. They shoot again. Porzingis with the block. And stolen by Bogdanovich. Pass to Bradley. That falls. Nice feed that time from Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich has got 3 assists tonight. Mavericks leading by 19. Runs in the pass to Porzingis. Outside Hardaway. Passes to Brunson. Shot clock at 5. Porzingis to 2. Misses off the left iron. Stolen by Brunson to the inside. Cauley-Stein. Great pass to set up the lay-in. And the Mavericks lead by 21.
Nice work inside by Cauley-Stein. Great tool as a finisher.
And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Conley kicks to Bradley. Now Bogdanovich. Right wing. Right side, Conley. Clock at 6. The 3. Traps in the tray.
He can be dangerous from outside. Sure, he didn't get one to go in the first, but we know he can get on a roll and knock him down.
Now here's Brunson. Pass to Cauley-Stein. Porzingis trying to get free. And the dunk by Porzingis.
You know, fellas, I like the aggressiveness Porzingis is showing on the glass. I mean, getting good positioning and using that big body when shots go up, that's why he's boarding it well.
Here's Conley following the score by Dallas. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Mitchell against Doncic. The 11-footer. And it's Mitchell missing. Mavericks leading by 20. On the wing, Hardaway. Outside, Porzingis. Clark, we hear a lot about the young basketball players in this country, the good ones playing in the AAU system. Is that the best way to develop talent for the NBA?
It's one of the better ways because the competition level is quite good across regions and throughout the country with these AAU teams. I think there's some great AAU programs and some tremendous benefits to participating in AAU basketball. Some things are better than others with it, but overall I think it's pretty solid.
Outside Conley. Bradley finds Mitchell. Now here is Conley. Lots of room. Mavericks with the rebound. Porzingis has got rebound number 8 now on the night. Here's Cauley-Stein.
And Cauley-Stein so explosive around the rim. Hard to defend without fouling.
Shooting 2.
No good on the free throw. Gobert, he's checked in for the Jazz. Jackson, he's checked in for Dallas. Good on the second free throw. Clark, the two-way contract, a relatively new invention that gives players time in both the G League and the NBA.
I love it, Kevin, because it's another pathway for those aspiring to be NBA players to have a legitimate shot to make their dream come true. The G League is just a notch below the NBA in terms of overall talent. And so I love the fact that players who desire to be pros can have a pathway to get to the NBA by being part of the G League as well.
And these G League players are having an impact, aren't they? They're making a difference on a lot of teams.
40% of the players in the league have spent some time in the G League, so it speaks to the impact the G League has on the NBA.
Now here's Brunson following the miss by Donovan Mitchell. To the middle. And it's Doncic. That time on the assist by Porzingis. That's 10 points for Luka Doncic. For Utah, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field entering the fourth quarter. Conley left side. And he drops it in from the low post. Conley's got 10 points in the quarter.
Gotta admire how clever Conley is. Gifted at catching the defense off guard with that soft floater.
Left side Jackson. That one no good. Bradley with some nice D. Jackson passes to Porzingis. Back to Jackson. Here's Doncic. A three-pointer off the mark. Jazz trail by 20. Fires at the elbow. Knocked away. And so it's Brunson with it. He brings it up for the Mavericks. It's off to Oklahoma City for him after this game, so they have the Thunder to look forward to. That'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour. Utah has gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Here's Conley. The Mavericks pull it in. And here's Brunson. Doncic outside. Back to Brunson. Clock at 4. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Doncic finds Brunson. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Last season, the NBA announcing the launch of a league in Africa, along with FIBA. Clark, what do you think of that move?
I think it's another example, Kevin, of the globalization of the game and the NBA's intentional, purposeful way of expanding and continuing to grow the game for the sake of the business of basketball, which is a game that obviously you and I love.
And Clark, we see so many foreign players come into the NBA and play well. Not just play, but play well.
Yeah, and not just Africa, although
right.
a number of players from Africa, but a number of different countries have signed on. It could make for a more exciting league.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Willie Cauley-Stein.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
I don't think anyone in this building saw this coming. I'm sure that of the players who these fans thought would beat them, his name was not at the top of the list. Mavericks leading by 18. They double him with Mitchell. To the paint. Here's Cauley-Stein. Gobert with the block, and he's able to get it back. Doncic passes to Porzingis, shoots over Bradley, tries yet again. The shot by Cauley-Stein, no good.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
I mean, if the defender is going to play off like that, then you know what's going to happen. There are going to be points put on the board.
Doncic passes to Cauley-Stein.
Cauley-Stein, a serviceable shooter at the line. Let's see if he can make him count.
And the first one at the line is good. Hardaway's checked in for the Mavericks. One is no good. Bogdanovich looking around. There's the feed to Bradley. Takes a three. Bogdanovich, no luck.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Porzingis. Dallas again missing. Jazz trail by 17. Outside Conley. From deep. They grabbed their own miss. Gobert fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
It looked like that was going to be blocked, but then he pulled the Houdini act and flipped it in for the score.
Mavericks leading by 14. Doncic outside. And there's the pass to Brunson. Down low. Here's Porzingis. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
No other way to put it. Just a rough quarter in terms of scoring. He has not been helping at all.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That one falls for Brunson. And he makes both free throws. Here's Conley. Inside, Gobert. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got 6 assists now in the game.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
And the first one drops. That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. And so Conley will bring the ball up for Utah. Trailing by 17. And there's the foul. It's on Jalen Brunson. That's foul number 2 for him. Pass to Mitchell from past the arc. Here's Gobert, and he banks in the layup.
Just creating havoc for the opponents the last few games.
Well, he's done it again right there on the offensive glass. I mean, it's a great stretch that he's having here, and boy, I really admire his energy.
It's stolen by Gobert. Fast break. Here come the Jazz. And it's Mitchell with the jam.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What, you mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas, I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more.
Got a piece of it. Doncic against Mitchell. And Doncic, here we go. It's good.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Mavericks.
Free throws were a big factor in this one.
You know, it's always great to get a lot of shots at the line, but the key, they were able to convert tonight. You start making free throws, and it can get you the win.
And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
And had significant points in this game. They just stayed committed to their brand of basketball. And that's why they'll be taking the front end of this 3-game season series against the Jazz.
And we watched them all night long. No one could really stop them. Just another excellent game it was for Porzingis.
Boy, from a scoring standpoint, he was absolutely sensational. Made the game look easy tonight.
And the Jazz call time here. They trail by 16. 1:02 left in the fourth quarter. Both teams deciding to change it up. Here's Moutier.
And still trying to find his footing in the league. Moutier must show improvement in his shooting moving forward.
And he knocks down the first one. No good on the second free throw.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point.
And Lee with the stuff.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, you know, once they got victory in their view, a huge injection of energy and a great run to finish it off.
So it's the Jazz now. The Mavericks making the shot. Passes it to Moutier. Jacks up a three. No good. So the Mavericks will take it the other way. And it's Lee penetrating. Gobert pulls it in.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
That one is off. And the second free throw, good. Here's Dallas. 16-point lead. Well, for the Mavericks, they can just run out the clock. Moutier against Curry. So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
And that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. KP, you guys got out on a break tonight. How did you get into transition so easily?
Yeah, we want to play faster, and that's what we try to do whenever they miss. We try to run, move the ball quick, and get easy buckets.
And you were able to beat him down the floor tonight, KP. Thanks a lot for your time. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.